last time on the Buccaneers, Lizzy was about to get married to Hector, and the episode cut off after Theo said, "You don't need to be with me, but you don't have to be with him either." So that happened. Also, in Italy, Guy and Paloma realized they could be more than just friends. So that happened. And also, the Dowager Duchess and Reed Robinson, they kissed too. So let's see how that plays into this week as Freddie and Jinny and the whole crew make it home. This week on the Lizzy Grantham Podcast.
But I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell, but stay a while and maybe then you'll see a different side of me. I'm not crazy.
And we are back. Every single piece of my heart is ready to talk about this episode of the Buccaneers. Corey, what is going on?
You know, when you said the name of that of the episode there, Dave, it really did bring home, like, that's kind of a cruel joke to make. Every single piece of my heart. Well, someone doesn't have that. We know that.
Oh, hey now. Well, I think, I mean, it was funny because leading up to that, I thought it was one of the most clever bits of dialogue in the whole episode. But we'll get there in a few moments.
Yeah.
Any news on the fronts of our television series? Or I guess how we're doing okay. It's cold. Got real cold in New England out of nowhere.
You know, just rolling with the punches of this weather, you know. It's our first throes of winter here, and not here for it. So
yeah, it snowed today in Connecticut. And
it snowed?
It snowed. Flurries, nothing serious, but definitely that day where you're like, oh no, any hopes of shorts coming out are done. No, warm 60-degree weekend days. We're bye-bye.
Yeah, but you know what's heating people up, Dave?
What?
The
Down Abbey on Peacock?
No, the sexiest man alive.
It.
Tony Bridgerton, a.k.a.
Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah, he was named last week right after we recorded our episode. We were all happy for it. Happy to see it. Finally, someone who's not like, you know, an obvious choice and pushing 50 or trying to, I don't know, resuscitate their career or something. This is a guy who's genuinely hot stuff in like hot properties. He's in the new Jurassic World movie. He's in Wicked coming out. He's Tony Bridgerton. People like to see this guy. They hit it right on the head. This is the sexiest man alive for sure.
Now, I have a question, and this is partially my ignorance, so I don't want to come off as insensitive. Has there ever been a gay man who's been sexiest man?
First ever.
Okay, so I was like, who are they marketing to? I know the sexiest man can be any man, but I feel like if the goal was to sell magazines to 50-year-old soccer moms, I don't know. I was like, is this the right move? But
I think
for
they're
me,
overdue. I think they're overdue. When you had Nick
course.
Nolte as the sexiest man alive in 1994, you're telling me that was the best they could do?
Or The Rock?
Nick Nolte? Come on.
There's been some interesting choices, but I mean, there's no denying he's a handsome man. I thought I didn't know he was gay until after we watched his season of Bridgerton.
Oh.
His like leading season. I was like, this guy and his wife to be are so hot for each other that they got to be straight.
Which, man, all the more convincing this guy is. He's an incredible actor because he had us hook, line, and sinker. Like, this man likes to go down on his women, as they tell us in Bridgerton, and he sold it. Very convincing.
Well, congrats to him. Congrats to
him. Congrats to us.
Congrats to us for backing the right horse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said it. Downton 3 is on Peacock. Mm-hmm. Officially. I pushed play.
Uh-huh.
I watched the first 10 minutes. I was like, I just put it on, and I was swept away where I was like, man, I could do this every day. Like, there's a reason we love Downton Abbey. It's so good. It's so easy to watch.
It's kind of wild to me how quickly this thing has come home. Like, we just saw it in theaters 2 months ago and got a message today on Instagram from one of our listeners, Kevin. He's already got the box set with every single season and every single movie.
Oh, that big one's out? Oh,
yeah.
With a limited. I got to order that. For
you may not be getting it, Dave. I mean, his certificate of authentication had him as like number 1,400 out of 3,000 or something. You're going to be going uphill with your sledding there, Dave.
I'll get it. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
Someone's got to hook us up.
Yeah, there was a note inside too. So, it's personalized. It's pretty cool. A 52-page book, and yeah, it looks heavy duty. So, yeah, if you can get one, good luck. Congratulations.
Yeah, I can't. I thought that was like later on.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
no, it's here.
It's here. Well, I mean, I don't need it, but I think for research purposes, I want it.
There's something so funny that they had the movie in theaters, and it's just like they already had the disc printed. Someone could have stole that disc and just had it at home before the movie came out there because they were just on top of getting it out in our hands. Exciting times, though, if you're a Downton fan. And end times, too. But
hey,
we are right in the thick of things, though, with the Buccaneers. This is episode 6 of 8 episodes this season for season 2. And this is a fast-moving episode, Dave.
This is like a two-plotter.
Mm-hmm.
There's really like not much going on aside from the A plot.
And I know I've been critical of the season. This episode makes a lot of choices where it moves very fast, where I'm just like sitting there thinking, we sure about that? Or did we do enough here? Could we have done more? I mean, well, let's just start off with the thing that kicks off this episode, Dave. Guy is out picking up flowers.
Yep.
Might be for Paloma, who knows? They don't even mention her. They flash that ring.
She's
on her
in
finger
the
last
previously
week.
on, yeah.
But they make no mention of that whole endeavor. But he spots Seaton walking around town.
Yeah.
And so he runs home and he's like, Jenny, we got to go. Seaton,
Pack your bags.
And she's like, I know.
I seen Seaton too. Mm-hmm. I'm chatting with him. He wants to make things right.
Yeah, you should see him with Freddie. And he's like, he's with Freddie? And she's like, yeah, and he can help. And he's trying harder. And Guy reminds her, like, look, you weren't the one who broke the marriage. This is the guy who hit you. And you're stronger now. And, think about this. If he has Freddie, it's all over for you two, And it kind of snaps her to her senses.
Well, I think this is one of the strangest dialogue sequences between these two, because she's like, I can fix this. And he's like, no, there's no point, because that's how he lures you in. And then she says, well, he got angry at me when I said that I might not go back with him.
Right.
And then Guy just
That's
says,
the moment.
Guy says, isn't that all you need to know? And she goes, okay. Like, there's not even a moment of pause where she's like, oh, Guy, you're right. She's just like, let's get Freddie. Let's pack our bags.
I kind of saw it come over her face in a second, like, wait a second. There is a reason why I ran away from
Yeah, either way, it was not 5 seconds. It was 1 second. It was very fast.
Yeah, it was like it hit a switch in her brain, like, oh, wait a second. This guy gets mad at the thought of me not coming home. That's not good. Mm-hmm. And so they go into the room, and the baby is missing. Freddie is gone. The window is open. The curtains are blowing. I have questions here. How did Guy, who's obviously more fit than Seaton, rush home to Jinny, talk to her, and then within that same amount of time, Seaton climbs up a window, silently steals a child out of the crib, and then rappels back down the window?
I think he went in when Guy was out. I think Jinny was just doing something else.
Guy saw him. Guy got the
That's
drop
true.
on Seaton.
No, but I think Guy's already gotten Freddie at that point.
Seaton's
I think Guy's going to pick up a croissant or something like that, a baguette.
So you think he already stole him by the time Guy sees him?
Yeah, I think he's already gotten Freddie.
But what's Jinny doing at home?
I think she got her AirPods in. She's doing some sweeping.
I just have a question. How do you get out of a window and rappel down it with a child, too?
I think he just went down the stairs.
She didn't even see or hear this happen.
Yeah, I think she wasn't paying attention.
Okay. Why was the window open?
I guess maybe. I don't know.
I just don't see how Seaton's like, oopsie daisy, holding a baby.
Well, this episode is basically about how Seaton's a freak, and everyone's always thought he was a freak.
That's true. He's an Assassin's Creed character who can just, traipse around rooftops of buildings. And so Jinny says, we need to get out of here. We need to. What is it? She says we need to go back home, which I don't know. I don't know why they would go directly back to Nan necessarily, or back right down to downtown. They're not very discreet about it, how they roll back in. They make a big to-do when they roll back, where everyone knows where Jinny is at.
I feel like there's this unspoken. I think this show operates very broadly, and I think it works to its disadvantage sometimes when it's like we can only. They never overtly told us that Seaton followed Nan to Italy. We're just led to believe that he found his
because she was there.
Yeah, but there's nobody tells us that. And then at the same time,
well, that's trusting the viewer. I'm okay with that. But
I understand that. But by the same token, Guy and Jinny come home to a house that has Conchita, Lizzy, Mabel, Honoria, all of these people. It's like if there's a private investigator or some guy that Seaton has on his payroll watching people, all of the people descend to the same house. Like there's no world where they don't know exactly where those three are, or those two are, because Freddie's with Seaton. So I think that's very. It's like, come on, use some discretion.
You would think, but yeah. So Nan is like, I got a plan, and her plan is very of the times. They're going to get the paper to write about her, and this will expose the truth about everything. And so Seaton, he hasn't been home for 3 weeks. And she has to stay in the house, or maybe he'll try to have her arrested, And Nan reassures her, we're trying to change the laws now to help you out here.
I know, not we. She goes, I'm going to change that law.
We'll see. We'll see, Nan.
Meanwhile,
Guy is like, where should I be? What should I be doing here? I mean, that's a good question to ask Guy, because also they don't really talk about it much in that from the first season. But if we recall a while ago, Guy was hitting the skids with his dad. They were losing their money. They were selling the house.
Oh yeah.
So like when he ran off with Jinny, it kind of worked out for him because he didn't have a place to stay. They don't really mention that at all. That Guy doesn't have any money or anywhere to go.
Jinny tells him the opposite. She's like, we can be free of this. You can do whatever you want with your life. And Guy's like, no,
I don't have anything going on. He gets
really
threads,
hoping
though.
to marry a rich American.
Right. Well, he's got some new threads, though, at least. He's wearing something different for the first time this season.
Yeah, and we see a great moment where Nan wants to have Jinny interviewed to get her side of the story in the news, and who can help get the editor of the newspaper but the Duke? Theo. So we have a moment where Theo comes in with this editor, and then there's a moment where Guy and Theo see each other, and they look at each other, and you're like, Theo's going to kill him. He's going to beat him to death. Mm-hmm. But they look at each other, and Theo or Guy is like, man, I'm so sorry. And it's in that moment, I was like, this is it. Like, I think they're both kind of coming to the understanding that Nan is way more trouble than she's worth.
Maybe. Or Theo's realizing whatever it was with Nan wasn't working, and I got something better with Lizzy that I like even more, so I can forgive Guy. And also, when Guy says, how can I ever thank you? He says, just give me the name of your barber.
Yeah, who's straightening your curls, my friend?
That would be great if Theo just comes in next week, his hair poofed out and with curls like Guy.
It's a little like racial appropriation, but
just a little.
We're in the 1800s, so why not? It's
Different
not frowned upon.
They're bros now, though. And so Mr. Clark, the writer, shows up, and the Guy is standing there. And he's like, this is the guy who's supposed to surprise me? Guy Thwart? And they said, no. Don't mind him. He needs a shower. No, we got Lady Seaton in the side room here.
Yeah.
Didn't think she'd share her face. And she tells all. She lets it all out there. She lets it hang out that she wanted a perfect marriage, and that he hit her. And they cross-cut this with Brightlingsea. Brittlesea. Miss Brittlesea. We haven't seen her in a few weeks, but she's talking to
Yeah, we thought she was
James.
conveniently written off.
Exactly, right? Or just forgotten about. She's talking to James Seaton about, like, hey, man, you're back here. You can make things straight or whatever. It'll all be okay. Meanwhile, Jinny's blown up his world by putting this story out there. But James has also come to the realization that, I thought I was the center of Jinny's world, and now they've turned them against me. I don't know.
I think he's said that before, though. I think he's doing the same song and dance to his mom that he's done to everybody.
Exactly.
These are he used to be just the two of us. Now it's all her friends.
And he's blaming the kid
always
too. He says the kid is the problem.
Oh my God.
He's young and he knows how to provoke me like his mother does.
And when the moment when they reunite later and she goes, "Where's Freddie?" and he's already said that there's endless fussing on the boat. I was like, did he kill the baby? Is the baby gone?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, thankfully it's not. But in that moment, I mean, my dad in reflexes kicked in when he's like, the baby just fussed on the boat endlessly, and I said, this son of a gun.
This
talking
guy's not
about
ready to be a dad.
Yeah, you can't, and there's no nannies on the boat, so you're probably just a deadbeat.
Yeah.
Changing diapers on your own like an a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who do you... nope.
Yeah. And the papers come out. Lady Seaton, victim, not villain. Dignified and honest woman. And so, yeah, everyone sees Seaton as the bad guy, and, hey, court of public opinion swinging their way, and if this law can get passed, put it all behind them, they can get Freddie. But Freddie is still missing. Seaton's not, showing up much anywhere. And we only get the briefest of acknowledgments of what happened last week with
it takes
Lizzy
like
Fallout.
15 minutes to get there.
Yeah, where
And Hector comes in.
Well, yeah, because Nana's there talking to Lizzy, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, just trying to be there for Jinny. Stop sympathizing, about the wedding. She says, doesn't regret it, whatever. But yeah, Hector walks in, and he's like, "We got work to do." Oh, hey, you.
Yeah.
He's not thrilled about her. Understandably, he's like, everyone's checking about you when they talk to me, and I gotta tell them you're doing just fine. When in reality, I'm the one who's struggling.
Yeah, and she says he says that we had that conversation in the courtyard of the church where you said you didn't love me with every piece of your heart, and imagine how I felt doing that. And she's like, "Well, I just want to be okay with you." And he's like, "You're gonna have to understand that every single piece of my heart does not want to be friends with you." And he mic drops and walks away, and it's like, Hector, yes, you deserve this because you did nothing wrong.
And she says, "You're doing this for us," and he says, "Nah, I'm doing it for the Duchess. Bye-bye. We're gonna go change a law."
She's gonna change a law.
Yeah, it's gonna be Nan actually. But Hector has sway with the Home Secretary, or he doesn't have any sway at the moment. So it's going to be tough to speed things up with this law. And Nan says, maybe I could speak with him. The guest of honor, at the opera. They're all invited. They can be there and talk to him informally. Better than nothing. And he's like, yeah, maybe that could work. I don't know. So all the women dress up. And again, they all have their own individual colors, which is like so funny to me.
It's like the Power Rangers.
Really, truly. Like they just have to stick to their color. They can't change it up or anything, which... It looks nice. It's just kind of funny how, like, I don't know, try a different color.
Yeah.
But, like, Nan's just got to be red. She's always a woman in red. Nan sees the Home Secretary, and she keeps talking to him during the opera, which, if I'm sitting in the adjacent booth, I'd be like, "Miss, can
I
you
think
stop?"
they're just tuning up the band when they're talking.
Well, she keeps talking over it, though, after they start, too.
And then I would be like, all right, fine, your law. Women.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a bill to pass, and she's telling the guy the bill can't wait. And the urgency would involve bravery, resolve, and just as a reminder, hey, when elections come up, we can help out. We could do something.
I'm the Duchess. I'm popular.
Exactly.
Right now.
And they kind of break the tension of the scene by cutting back to the house with Guy and Theo just having another drink. And, Guy saying sorry again, and one day they'll work it out. And... Theo admits that mistakes were making on both sides. You know?
Yeah.
And Guy says Freddie's like a son to him. He'd help him if he could. And so, what can be done about men like Seaton? Thank God for women.
Yep.
That's it, and that's all for them. Nan's continuing to talk to the Prime Minister. The influence of the tentacle.
Potential Prime Minister.
It'll be beneficial. Well, he's not the Prime Minister?
No, she's saying if he wants to be the Prime Minister,
right,
her sway will help.
Exactly. Yeah. He will. He's going to run for that eventually. But we see Seaton walk in. He's got a booth.
Yep. And you see everyone looks at the booth. Mm-hmm. And immediately in my head I say, I know what's going to happen here, and I pray to God it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Because back at the house, Brightlingsea starts to talk to Jinny.
Uh-huh.
And she, Jinny makes the case like my kids are going to overhaul my sisters are going to overhaul the legal system, but Brightlingsea like, being a mother sometimes means letting your sons run wild like a dog. And I don't know if you've practiced that yet, Dave, with your son.
He's not running yet.
He's not running. Okay, that's good. But Jinny reminds her, you can teach dogs to behave. And she's like, James is fragile. And she says, I just want to know where Freddie's at. And it's kind of wild that you're talking to me right now, and you might have an idea of where Freddie's at. Why is he hiding them from me? I got to go see this guy. And Brightlingsea, to her credit, says, if you're a united front, maybe you'll put it behind you. And it's like, no. He doesn't want to put a united front. I don't know what your son's telling you. So Jinny goes to the opera. She rushes there.
Well, I mean, she says, he's at the opera. We got to go. And all of a sudden, her and Guy are, it's just like Power Rangers. They pull a little buckle off their belt and hold it up, and all of a sudden they're in their tuxes
teleport.
and dresses.
Yeah. And
this is when I started saying, no, don't do this. Do not go to the opera.
Yeah. So she confronts Seaton, asks where her son's at, what have you done? And then people are starting to watch, and she is shouting louder, where is my son? Where is he? And this is where he pulls that trump card of looking like a little loser, where he says, help, help. Help me, please, someone. And then she slaps him in the face. She does not. She falls right in the trap. And he kind of does he sells it well, like a wrestler. He sells it like, oh, I need a doctor.
You should look at her and wink and be like, gotcha.
Yeah.
I did it.
You're slapped in the face. If you ever need a doctor for being slapped in the face, you're made of, I don't know, glass. And so, where's my son? Where is he? And then out of nowhere, these people show up to then restrain Jinny, pull her all the way into a carriage, and before we know it, she's in it.
Out of nowhere, as if this was all planned.
Right? He just had these people ready with the carriage, ready to go somewhere.
He knew it. He sent his mom to do his dirty work.
Yeah. I mean, who shows up dressed like that, too? Like, I mean, it's kind of wild that they just check her in immediately to the asylum, because one of the person checking the person in say, why is she all dressed up in this gown and stuff? She looks kind of like...
she's a celebrity.
Yeah, she's well put together.
They were waiting. She's been, it's like Dr. Drew, Celebrity Rehab. You're just waiting for, like, Tom Sizemore to show up. That's what they're...
But she's wearing makeup, which, by the way, for being so concerned about where Freddie's at and everything, she doesn't stop to put her makeup and put her face together.
She got to go to the opera. You don't just walk in. We know from the Gilded Age, you can't just show up.
Nope. And, Nan wants to see Jinny, and they said no visitors. Jinny, we see, is just destroying the room. Seaton visits her, and he's like, it's terrifying. He's practicing his, like, gaslighting voice of, like, it's terrifying for you and me. It's not about Freddie, He's unwell. You're unwell. We're taking care of you for treatment.
She says, you're not crazy. You're just a little unwell.
And then, yeah.
I know you can't tell.
And then he force feeds her some medicine, says, take this and love me again.
Yep. But his way of doing that is saying, look out the window, your baby's out there.
Yeah, the second time he comes through, he says, like, look, we can make this work. There's your baby. And she's like, oh, it's Freddie. Take him away. No. Yeah, she's just losing her mind. She has not been well. And, she's safe where she is now. But before you know it, Nan's like, I got the paperwork. You can't just keep her in here.
I got the power of attorney. I got Guy Thor and the Duke and Hector. Let me in.
Yeah, who knew you can't just lock someone up without, I don't know, some bona fides to get them out easily.
But it's too late.
Yeah. Immediately, Jinny's like, I need to go see Seaton. I need to get Freddie.
She's gone, right?
Right, she's already gone. Right,
yeah, she's gone.
Because Nan goes to see her, and she's already gone. Because I think James Seaton lured her back in, like the allure of Freddie and taking care of the son.
Well, seeing Freddie was enough.
Yeah. And what is it? They're eating dinner, and like she can't even really eat. But he's like, "You're back where you belong. This is all that matters."
There's a really heartbreaking scene where she runs out of the carriage, runs upstairs, and she's holding Freddie, and then James walks in and he's like, "No, you're still unwell. You can't be with your son." And she's like, "Are you kidding me?" And then he goes, "No, we got to go. It's dinner time."
Right, he takes the baby away from her. Like,
he gives it back to the. Imagine being the nanny in that situation. I would be like, "Hey, please."
I know you're
My
making the
Christmas
kid
bonus better be real good.
because you're making the job tougher for me, James. But yeah, this is where they're eating dinner, and that she's been through hell, and she's back where she belongs. But she's not even really eating.
She cuts right into him.
Oh yeah.
She says, he's like, this is what I've been waiting for. We can be in love and start over. You're my whole life. It's always just been us. She goes, I can't love you after what you've done to me.
Yeah,
are you out of your mind? You should have been in that padded room, not me.
And Seaton kind of has this glassy-eyed look to him. He's got a la-di-da Mr. Burns on The Simpsons when he like turns in, or they think he's like an alien or whatever because he's just taking so many meds. Like he is just like, what do you mean? He's like fully delusional at this point. Seaton, for some reason, like he's just deluded himself that he could just make the family whole if he could just steal them back into the house.
Well, I think he knows. I think he has like a. In his head, there's like a timeline of a string theory thing where, if she doesn't love me, this is what we're doing next. If she does love me, this is what we're doing next. And part of me thinks he's always going to be evil and lock her up, but then part of me is like, well, if she falls in line, I think he's lost his marbles enough that he's kind of like George Warligan towards the end of Poldark, where he's just like, just give me what I want, and I just want to be with it. But it's not genuine. It's like, I just need that to ease my tension.
He's more obsessed with the idea of it than the reality of it.
Yeah. And when he faces the reality of it, that's when you see he stands up. She goes, I can't love you. I can't, after what you've done, you took my child, all this, that, and the third. He stands up and he grabs her by the arms.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like,
there's the monster again.
Can't change a tiger's stripes.
He's worked himself into a shoot. He's gaslit himself into thinking he's something that he's not too, I think. And so we get this scene of Brightlingsea with Richard, who, if we may forget, he's the brother of James Seaton. Yep,
and Honoria, the three of them, they're all siblings.
And they start talking about their childhood, of how when they were boys, people would compare them. And, they weren't comparable, but James is always trying to chase after Richard, be like him. He was a funny fish, but it escalated. And the mom, for once, she feels some culpability. She's like,
she tries to do a little babyface turn here.
Exactly, but James makes his own decisions, and so
she goes, maybe you can get through to him.
Yeah, he's at Aunt Emily's house, won't let anyone in, but maybe he'll let you in.
She's like, well, maybe I shouldn't have helped him get his wife back out of and then into an asylum briefly. So here's my way of making it good, which is telling you that your brother was always a weirdo who would like wouldn't play with toys and only cared about his brother's approval. It's like, okay.
Weird riding of the fence here from Brightlingsea, where I can't tell which side she's on, which I guess if you're a parent, you can't choose between your kids. You love them all.
Well, I think this is her make good on, because I think she's acknowledging her screw up. Sure.
That's fair. But this scene I thought was actually interesting, though, in like telling us more about their brotherhood, of like what it was. Like, how does one come out so warped and the other guy is, normal as can be? And they really haven't interrogated that much at all previously in the show.
Yeah.
Like, they've pretty much tried to keep them separate. And I think almost to the point of like, well, Conchita and Richard already have like their issues. Let's not try and vilify Richard by association with James. So like keep them separated. But like it's been to the detriment of the show where there's been no interactions between these two dudes to the point where like they're supposed to be brothers. Really?
Last season, there's this sort of ensemble where everyone goes and just like it's like when you're in your 20s and you're just like, okay, we're all out of college. We're who's left in town. I'm going to cast the net out, and everyone who's in my age range that wants to go to the bar and drink is welcome. So that's how James wound up in that crew. It's like, oh boy, he's our sympathy friend. Yeah. He's still here with us because he's local and he might DD every now and again. So that's why he can come. But it's this big thing. And now that they're older, they're also still like 23 years old. It's like, oh boy, but now we're back to admitting he wasn't that great. He wasn't a good hang.
No. And this is like
he never paid for drugs, not once.
What a loser. And this is like the first time I've considered this since like the beginning of the series where like oh, they're all related. And then so James is with Jinny, Richard is with Conchita, Honoria is with Mabel. So like literally 3 of the seeding characters are with like 3 of the main characters on the show. And
Yep.
I didn't even thought about like, man, they got to expand their pool of dating. This is just like really too close for comfort here in terms of like you're going to all be part of the same
It makes
family.
family reunions very easy.
Yeah. Well, you don't even think about this, too, because I don't think once Conchita refers to Jinny as, like, a sister-in-law, or at least maybe they say it in passing or whatever, but there's never any talk about that much.
Well, there's really not much interaction with them after
No.
the wedding,
This is strange.
so to speak.
But they
But
really...
there's an idea. They're hatching a plan,
Uh-huh.
and Conchita's like, look, let me go with you. Mm-hmm. You're going to need me there. And Richard is like, no, my mommy told me that he will only respect me.
Yeah.
And Honoria's like, I'm coming. I'm on the baby heist team.
So, yeah, everyone knows to do this. It struck me as odd, though. They didn't think to include Theo in this. We've seen that James has a connection with Theo. He was the one who advised him about, Guy and Nan. You'd think they'd play up on that connection that they've actually shown us in the past, rather than this one that, like, oh, yeah, they're
but
brothers.
they don't like each other.
Sure, but, like, at least we've seen, like, them have relations, whereas James and Richard are like, yeah, they're brothers. So I guess that trumps everything.
Yeah, but their relations are Theo punched him in the face last time they saw each
true.
other. That's not a good relation.
Was that the last time?
After Theo punched
he
him in the face?
apologized.
Well, he fake apologizes. He does what he gaslights him and then says, "Oh, by the way, Guy Thwart was banging your wife."
Yeah. So now
That's
they're
not
good after he punched
respect.
them. After he punched them, they made
That's
good.
not respect, though.
That's-
I think and the relationship to Nan. I think Guy is staying away, or Theo's staying away from.
All the more reason, though,
Lord
Dave.
Seaton.
Theo has his seniority to Guy in terms of power, and he can punch the guy. So put him in there and punch him again. What's the trouble? Why do you got to do all
It's
this
like
kidnapping?
it's like a video game. The way that the maids are walking around, you have to like hit the crouch button. So because the maids will sound the alarm.
Exactly. But yeah, you're saying though, Dave. Honoria and Richard, or Dick as some call him, are gonna go play buddy with James.
I thought this was a solid scene.
Yeah, they're calling back to old times of like, the dogs in the family, and that maybe the mom loved them more than us. We're all well adjusted, as he says, James. And Honoria says, I'm going to go get some tea.
And James is like, hey, bro, we know a lot's going on, but we just want to come and hang. Mm-hmm. And it's strange.
Richard says that, yeah.
Yeah, Richard, not James. It's convincing. This is further convincing me that James has lost his mind before the climax happens. Because it's like, this guy, Conchita and him have a business together. A matchmaking business where, like, Conchita has flipped Richard to be on the side of the Americans. And I think anyone with a brain knows that.
Yeah.
And Honoria is dead weight to
Right, they're not on James' side. Like, blood is not thicker than water in this case. But James could not be more obvious when he's talking to Richard, and he's like, let's have a drink. And, James is trying to be open with him. He's like, do you think Jinny will ever love me again? And he's like, yeah, maybe. I don't know, maybe.
But he's leaning in and he goes, well, Conchita doesn't love me. He's giving him what he wants to hear. He goes, it's tough.
It's a
tough
good
to be
reason,
with these American women.
Because it's true. Like, he did have a public rough go with Conchita, so it is nice to share that. Mm-hmm. But it is funny how James just keeps looking up to where Honoria is at, and he couldn't make it more obvious that he's, like, glancing, like, where's the baby?
And Honoria literally hides behind a banister for the nanny to go by.
Metal Gear
And
Solid style.
Jinny is locked in a room. Mm-hmm. And he said, the baby's on the 3rd floor, go get the baby.
Yep.
And Honoria manages to pull off the heist of the century really quick.
Gets the baby.
We see,
but Jinny says, leave me behind. Just take Freddie.
Yep. That's how we get. I mean, you got to start small.
Yep. And so Honoria gets out of there. She's getting out of the house to the carriage when James starts to pick up, like, Honoria's been gone for tea for a while. I mean, you're giving me some whiskey right now, but I'd like that tea. That where is that? And then before you know it, James is like, wait a second, Freddie's not here. Wait, what? Honoria. And then James says, you locked up your wife. What am I supposed to do? Come on. Let's talk real.
And then they start going at it.
Oh, yeah, they start tussling. And what is it? Richard, then he just cold cocks James. This is the second time this season that James Seaton has been punched in the face. Like, the dude is a lightweight. He can't hold a fight at all.
And Richard runs upstairs, and he's like, wait a minute. She's locked in the room, and he kicks open the door.
He busts it down with his leg, dude. That is hardcore.
He just said, Jenny, move. One try. Bang, the door's open.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere, James has a gun.
Yep.
Get out of my way.
He's like, Jenny, get out of here. Go, just run it for as long as you can. You'll find the carriage. And
he's making his case. Like, I know how tough it's been. I know I'm holding a gun right now, but I love you. I love you. Don't mind this thing. It's just loaded.
And then he puts it up to his head. And I was like, didn't we see this on Poldark? Like,
yeah.
Are we really going to do this? And we see Jinny outside hiding behind a tree, and you hear the gunshot.
Oh, wait. But I think, no, it's Richard who says, we know you love her or whatever. You know, don't do this. And he says, he says, we can solve this. And James, to his credit, says, you got to stop saying we can solve this. And then he says, like, this is all over, and we can solve this. And then we cut away, and then there's the pop. He should have just stopped saying it, Richard. You know, he should have stopped saying what James told him to stop saying.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we cut back. Richard's been popped. He's dead.
Yep, right through the heart.
Yeah, took a piece of his heart. Jinny's walking the streets bare feet, you know, on the pavement. And she comes and tells Conchita what happened. Her sister-in-law. I think their first conversation in episodes. And Apple TV says, if you know someone who needs support, get help. I shouldn't laugh at that. That is true. If you know someone who needs support, get help. I quarrel a little bit with, like, if Seaton... Is he a manic depressive? Is it fair to lump him in with those people when he's so severely evil that it's cartoonish? I think when we hear that,
this is me, my special education brain clicking in. When the mother, Lady Brightlingsea, is like, you know, he never engaged with you guys in the appropriate way. That is like 101 autism. Like, not engaging appropriately with peers is he's got an early case of, you know, whatever Asperger's would have been called back in the day, which it wouldn't have been called anything. It would have been called he's an oddball.
But maybe I'm wrong, though. I felt like Apple was advocating, though, for the suicide hotline, which, you know, he does put a gun to his head at one point.
Yeah. I mean, he's unwell. He's unhinged.
Yeah, because I wish in that moment, I thought that was also maybe a play. You know, like, I'm going to point a gun in my head, see how serious I am. He's not going to actually pull the trigger on himself because he's such a weak person. And we know this as the character. He's such a sniveling, weak person. He would never kill himself. But who knows? Maybe he did, and that's all the more reason. Never kill yourself. Never.
Okay.
We stand by that, but I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Like, James is just, like, so unsympathetic.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, I think the whole thing is it's very difficult to tell fictional stories about that anymore because it has become such a strong, you know, a polarizing. Obviously, polarizing. It's not really polarizing, and anyone that's pro it is bad. Yeah. But it's become such a hot button issue as it's become more prevalent in pop culture and in real culture with the information we have now about medicine and mental health. So even playing with that idea seems a little out of character for the show.
This is not a serious show to be that serious.
Yeah.
But anyways, that happened. Rest in peace, Richard. The only really likable guy on the show who didn't do wrong by anyone. He was the most stand-up man that we knew.
And again, this is similar to Cora disappearing. Richard and Conchita seem to be smooth sailing for their business.
They're gone to America. No.
Nope.
Now, what does Brightlingsea say about her son? now that he's done that to her.
Well, now I'm curious about how the blame falls. Is he getting locked up, or is the entire Buccaneers crew being judged by the public as a bunch of you-know-what stirrers, as you know,
for trying to steal
messing with society, stealing a kid?
I mean, you would think the public sympathy would be on Jinny's side, and then the fact that she got locked in asylum, I don't know if that would necessarily sway the public opinion because they knew what would happen to her. So
I think the public opinion. I think the function of the opera
in the public display of her attacking him
was to show that,
she's not well.
Emotional women are dangerous for a society run by men. And I think that
is not true, but it perpetuates that stereotype.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Obviously, it's not true. It's just part of that world.
I wonder if it delays the bill. That's really what I'm wondering about. What happens with this bill? We'll see. Solid episode, though. At least
great final set piece.
Yeah. I did feel tension when Honoria was trying to steal the child because I was like, oh, man, if James catches her, I don't know, man.
I mean, I knew it was going to wind up wild, but I didn't know we would lose Richard.
I knew someone was going to die because I saw, like, in the headlines for the season, like, unexpected, shocking death. And I was like, well, who could it be? But, yeah, did not expect it to be Richard.
Miles.
Yeah. Well,
could have been a return of Miles.
It could have been, and he just gets popped at the doorway.
Sorry, bro. I'm back.
Yeah. Well, going down, kicking off our power rankings.
Yeah, start us off.
I got Richard Seaton at number 3. I know he's dead. I know he got shot. But he was doing pretty good up until then. He cold-cocked his brother, kicked the door off its hinges, and he was pretty good at... I mean, he held James's attention long enough for Honoria to get away with the kid. So, he had a good run.
Okay. Well, I got Jinny at number 3.
She's my number 2.
Jinny is... She gets her son, ultimately, which is why she can't be the ultimate loser. But she falls right for the trap. She loses her son in Italy. Like, her life unravels before only slightly re-raveling at the end. So, it's tough. And she's going to be on the come down from these meds they put her on.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, her credibility is taking a hit here with that public display, like you said at the opera, where they saw her hitting her husband and all the issues that they're having. But yeah, she is made to feel insane. She tears up her insane asylum room,
her hotel room.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, poor Jinny. All this for nothing. But hopefully they end up somewhere better after this. Tough beat.
Yeah, whoever they is. I mean, clearly they're teeing up something with Guy.
Jinny and Guy?
Guy's the father. Not Guy, but Guy with Freddie as the father who stepped up.
Until Paloma comes back. It did seem like Guy and Nan were getting along again this episode. There was one.
Yeah, she says to him, "It was always you," and it's like, "Stop doing this." And Theo says to Guy, "We're under the same roof, so you're done."
Yeah,
step away.
2 episodes ago, you walked out on this guy, and he went off and got married on a drunken night. Come on, Nan.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, who's number 2 going down?
Well, I got Lady Brightlingsea because this is her children that she is playing against each other, and her daughter-in-law. And she's, they're not overt in how they put it in the ether, but like she's putting Jinny in the situation to set her up to go to the opera to get sent to the hospital. She realizes that she screwed up. She sends her son and her daughter to the other son to go redeem the situation, and he winds up with a hole in his heart. So she's probably sitting at home going like, oh boy,
I didn't play that one right.
It's rotten right now. So,
oh man, could I have been a better mother? No, the kids are dogs. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Number one,
the corgis wound up okay.
Yeah. The real dogs wound up okay. That is funny though that they're talking about dogs that she cared for them more than she compares her kids to dogs. So she doesn't know how to raise anything. Well, number 1 going down for me is James. This dude's a loony tune.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, Richard Damon crackered bottom 3 even though he died.
Nope.
Okay. Well, James is just lunatic. Doesn't succeed in keeping Freddie away from Honoria and all them. Kills his brother.
Yeah.
And he's just out of this world, out of his gourd. Don't know what planet he's on.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. You feel like
James?
I mean, you feel bad for the sense that he is like George Worligan in Poldark.
No, he's evil.
Heel descending further into madness.
He stole the baby. He brought this on himself.
I mean, I'm not saying I like him. Yeah. But like you see that sort of madness taking over him. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I feel like, man, this guy's losing whatever semblance of sanity he had.
Yeah. Well, who's going up, Dave?
Tough episode for going up.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Number 3, I got the one-line wonder, the name of the episode. I got Hector.
Okay.
He gets that one line in on Lizzy where he's saying, everybody's doing this, talking about this, but no, you don't have every single piece of my heart. Mm-hmm. See ya. I'm still in power in the world, and I'm going to get what I want. And because Lizzy's like, oh, you're going to find the love. Don't you worry about it. And he's like, they don't care about me because of what you did to me at my wedding. You embarrassed me. You made me look like a fool. And you made, it's all about you. Every little piece. Like, we could have made something work. No. Go kick rocks. I don't like you. I don't have to like you, which I think is a thing in breakups in fiction and in real life where it's like you're supposed to leave and be okay with your partner. Hector's like, I'm not okay with you. Leave me alone.
That's
and then
all
he walks away.
about that.
That's all he has to say.
Yeah. That's a good point, Dave. Well, yeah, the only guys I got going up, I got Guy and Theo at number 3. The two bros
I got him at number 2.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they had a lot to overcome here, you know? They big ups on them for seeing past the problems in their life and the differences and just being like, you know what? We're bros before anything. And hug it out.
Yeah, well, it's like we both have committed infidelity.
Yeah. I wish the episode actually ended with like all the drama of Richard getting shot and everyone freaking out to just like a cut to them at the barbershop getting their hair cut together.
It's like, that's women.
Yeah, we're just having a day to ourselves. No drama. Drama free for us. Well, number 2 going up, I got Nan. Because
interesting.
She uses her sway powers to, talk to the head minister. Home secretary. And it seems like he's buying in. She's winning him over. And her plan is pretty effective, too, with Jinny going to the papers to, sway the public opinion. And she also gets the paperwork to get Jinny out of there, but she's already left the asylum. But she's on the up and up in terms of working in her sister's best interest this episode, I thought.
Uh-huh.
So,
yeah,
she's still working towards that bill, too. She's still got the Hector on her side.
Yeah. My number 1 is Richard.
Okay, sure, yeah.
He dies, but he does so in a very heroic way. I feel like a lot of deaths in period dramas are tragedies.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that die in any of these shows that we've watched, be it Downton Abbey, Poldark. Nobody dies in like Bridgerton. But not many people die a hero.
Yeah.
And he goes and he saves his nephew from a life of torture. He gets his sister-in-law out, and then he's the one who's man enough to throw hands with his wild man brother. And he falls on his sword, and he's the one that he gets everybody out of the house. Like, this is all like, again, talking about my workplace. If you ever do those Alice trainings about keeping a shooter away, he gets everyone else to safety and falls on his sword. I think, all the power in the world to Richard. May, Conchita and the kids
rest in power.
Be okay. Yeah.
I mean, he's like a superhero this episode. To kick a door off his hinges, you wonder, what is his regimen? Like, what is this guy doing?
I won't be surprised if he's still alive.
I mean, honestly,
he sticks his hand into the heart and it heals.
Just pull the bullet out. Well, I got his sister at number 1. I got Honoria.
Honoria, she does. She's the one that gets the baby.
She slips in there, gets that baby, gets right out of there before anyone can realize what's going on.
She hits the sprint button on the controller to get to the
hits R3 to duck and stuff. She's real good at the stealth bit, and there's maybe a career for her in that. Instead of teaching people English, she should be teaching them how to sneak around. Good for Honoria.
Yeah.
Low key, does what she needs to do.
And that's this week
on the Buccaneers. So can only imagine where they go from here. I mean, obviously there's got to be someone's going to take the blame for shooting Richard.
Is it self-defense or is it murder?
That's a good question. They're going to plead self-defense, but
well, Honoria. Well, the problem is, and this goes to what we talk about with this show in general, and the time period that is set. The only 2 witnesses are women, and are women trusted over a lord? So we'll find out.
Especially when the one is dead. But you got Guy and Theo in their corner, so he can help out.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, that's this week on the Buccaneers. Dave, have you been watching anything else?
Well, we talked about it in the beginning. Jonathan Bailey, sexiest man in the world. We talked about Peacock and Downton Abbey 3. But I watched Jurassic World Rebirth over the weekend.
I want to watch it. I've been trying to make time for it. How was it?
It's bad. It's really bad.
Oh man, I'm
I think it's worth watching if you like if you made it through the Pratt movies. it's worth watching because it's just more and it's a little different. Okay. But it's really like, I think the one saving grace of the Pratt movies is it was like pre-Pratt being like this weirdo heel in the public eye.
Just a pseudo, like a crazy Christian trying to force his beliefs on others.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's kind of a lovable,
Oaf
newly jacked bro who
Yeah.
you're just like, this guy's charming. This, like, those are fun, and him and Bryce Dallas Howard have a good rapport.
And the
this
Raptor
movie,
Blue, you're invested in the Raptor Blue.
Oh yeah, this movie, and I'm not spoiling the movie.
Okay.
Your favorite dinosaurs have no effect on anything.
They're just there.
They're just barely there, you know?
Okay.
So if you're like a big Jurassic Park fan who wants to see Velociraptors and the T-Rex and the Dilophosaurus, I've got bad news for you. If you like the Indoraptor and Indominus Rex, you're going to be in hog heaven.
Oh, come on. So they have like the mutated dinosaurs, not the...
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
come on. Okay, I'm not here for that. How's Jonathan Bailey in it?
He's like this is the most I would say that guy's gay in a heterosexual role because he's like a nerd.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's
no
supposed to
chance
have
Scarlett Johansson.
No, I feel like Mahershala Ali has a chance with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay. Now I want to watch.
It's worth, like I said, it's worth watching. It's bad, but the Pratt ones are bad. This is worse than the Pratt ones, but it's not exponentially worse than the Pratt, in my mind.
I might watch that tonight. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, there's an interesting like B story that it's like, what is going on here? So, What about you, Corey? I know you had some time on a runway the other day.
Oh, don't get me started, man. I lost my entire Sunday. I was supposed to travel for a work event, and then there's all these delays and cancellations going on. And people are like, well, that's happening, in the New York area. That's happening in LaGuardia and Newark. JFK's doing okay. No, I was at JFK, and my flight was delayed by 3 hours from 3:30. Well, no, it was from 3 to then 6 p.m., and then it got delayed another 50 minutes. And then they said, we can board now. We boarded the plane. We sat on the tarmac for 3 hours.
Did you move on the tarmac, or did you just stay by the...
They said we were number one in the queue to go out, and then they said we're going to pause for now. We don't know why. And then after 20 to 30 minutes, they said, well, we're running out of gas. We're going to have to refuel. And then when we pulled in to refuel, they said the shift for the pilots is actually ending, and they need to go home. And so we need to find new pilots. And then 5 minutes later, they said, we're going to have to actually just cancel this flight. And it's like...
Wow.
And so that was at 9:30. They gave us that notice that this is ultimately canceled. And so I get in line to do the customer service to either transfer or cancel my flight. And they keep saying, like, there's phones to the side you can contact. And it's like, this line, by the way, is at least 100 people deep. And I don't want to lose my place in line to go try with the phone where I keep seeing people go over, walk away annoyed. And I'm just like, just stick with this. And then, of course, when I get to the thing, I say, like, I was thinking about transferring, but then I started hearing the earliest is Tuesday. And it's like, well, if I transfer to Tuesday, then that actually defeats the point of my work trip. And they said, we can't cancel it for you. You have to call them. I was like, then what can you do for me? And they said, well, here's the refund number. And I was like, well, what about my luggage? Because the day before I said, you know what? I never check my luggage. Let's treat myself to this. I'm carrying a lot. The people who got to do the carry-ons, they got their luggage back immediately. And the person at the desk said, no, you need to go to the baggage claim and get it. And it may take a few hours. And I was like, are you pulling my leg now? This is 11:30 to 11:45 at night now. And then they didn't do anything for me after waiting in that line for 2 hours. Go down to the baggage claim, and then after an hour or a half hour, they take my number down for my baggage, and they say it's going to be a couple hours. I was like, what are you talking about?
Couple hours?
Yeah. And so I go wait over by the chute of irregular sized baggage where they just throw stuff out from planes. Because if I had gotten a transfer for a flight, they would have then put my baggage on that plane, but because I was canceling altogether and just getting my luggage back, they just had it there. But it waited for 2 hours. The most helpful person of this entire evening was the guy getting the baggage, because he took a picture of my baggage claim number and says, I'll find this for you. And it took him a half hour each time he'd come back with more baggage. The first time, nothing. And then the second time, after he took a second picture of the baggage number, he then had it. And by that point, it was 1:56 a.m. And, caught the air train, caught the subway, didn't get home till 4 a.m.
Wow.
Just walking the streets of New York at 3 a.m. with my luggage and everything. So it goes, 4 a.m. and then just passed out. And then the kicker was talking to my boss the next day, asking, do I have to go to this event because of all that? And she said, well, technically, since the client is paying for this, you have to confirm with them that you don't have to go. And I was like, are you serious? That is so cruel to ask me to try and do this again. And luckily, the client said, no, you don't have to. And as long as the account manager on your side says it's okay. And then I got clearance from them. And so I was finally able to cancel all of it. And so my whole plan, I had a whole week planned. I was going to travel somewhere else after this. Now I'm eating like close to $300 in terms of concert costs of what I was going to pay for. But the flights keep getting canceled and I can't risk it. And so here I am. It was one of the worst days of my life. But I had a great time in the afternoon at the airport lounge, which never happens. I'd never been to the airport lounge. I got a new credit card. They just kept feeding me alcohol. I didn't have to pay a dime. And I was just like, let's keep going. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, that's good.
And they gave an ominous tone where they said, who knows? We don't know when you may be leaving. And I was like, what do you know that I don't? Like, all right.
Another round.
Yeah, top me off. They handed me champagne. I didn't even order at one point. I was like, this is great. I can just live here. They have showers there at the lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, that was my day. And then I did work in a movie, though, Dave. I know we're running late.
Oh, no, this is fine. People would turn it off if they didn't care anymore.
I caught Predator Badlands this afternoon. I squeezed it in.
How was it?
So good. I can't even put into words how much I loved it, man. This is like one of the best Predator movies.
One of the best? One of the 5?
Well, there's like 6 or 7.
Well,
right
yes,
now.
If you include Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah, there's 2 of those, and then there's the first 2.
Predator,
Predators, and Prey.
Prey and Predator. The one with Adrian Brody.
Right, that's Predators, and there's the Predator
6?
from 2018. Yeah, there's 6 of those mainline ones, so this would be 7. And then there's also the Killer of Killers that came out over the summer, the animated movie. It's so good, though, man. You can feel a little bit of like the Marvel, like Mandalorian Grogu on it a little bit, where it's like the Predator with the sidekick robot. But, dude, it goes so hard. It really has no business to be as good as it is. You would love it.
Yeah, the trailer looks a little meh.
I think you'd love it.
I don't doubt I would love it. But the trailer looks so silly.
It's PG-13, but they cut up all these aliens and destroy all these.
Well, they're not people, so that's why you can cut them up.
Yeah, they go hard. But man, it's one of those things I always appreciate is when they expand the mythology or lore of a character that there isn't much on, but they do it so gracefully without interrupting what came before. And it's just like, I want more of this. Give me more. It rocked, man. I loved it.
Okay.
Thoroughly loved it. And that's just what you need, you know.
After a terrible travel day, lack thereof.
Exactly. Just so you see Predator doing Predator things. Well, that's where you can find us here on the podcast talking about things. We'll be back next week talking more Buccaneers. If you want to sign up for a Patreon, we have our Lords of Grantham Lounge. We have some bonus content that we send out from time to time. Leave us a 5-star rating review on Spotify and iTunes if you can. We'd love to do, if you could, on Spotify. Some guys been leaving some very mean-spirited comments on our podcast recently. So that'd be nice if you could support us there. Hit us up at lordsgrantham@gmail.com or anywhere where you can find us on socials. Otherwise, we'll find you next week on the pod.